Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you quickly how to set up a section in your view and create a section drawing with shadows in Rhino. So what I want to do in order to create a section, the best way to create a section is to make what's called a clipping plane. I'm going to type it in there in the command line, clipping plane, and I'm going to choose the option vertical to draw it, to draw like a vertical rectangle. So click anywhere in your viewport, kind of where you want that section to go. I'm going to hold Shift to snap to ortho, and I'm still holding Shift, but it's going to automatically draw it vertical because I chose that option vertical. And there you can see it's like live clipping through my model. I can reposition this plane to change where my section cut is happening. It doesn't matter where it is parallel. It'll clip anything parallel, but obviously it'll show the model in the direction that the little arrow points. You can also rotate this to change the direction you're clipping. So if I rotate it that way, I'm cutting the other way. And then the other thing is, if you select your clipping plane and go to Properties, it should take you to this clipping plane properties menu. So in there I can flip the direction. So if I want to cut the other way, I can flip it. And it'll only show up, or I'm sorry, it'll only clip your model in the view that you drew it in. So you can see all my other viewports, it's not clipping my model. And so again, in this menu, I can turn that off and on in those views. There. Okay. So yeah, so let's say we wanted to make a section drawing of this. So what I want to do is first choose the view that I want to clip clip my model in and show my model in. So I want to change the view. So down here in the bottom right, you can see if I turn my clipping plane on in that viewport, it's the one called left, it's not really clipping my model because I'm looking at it from the other side in that viewport, as you can see. So I'm looking at the back. What I want to do is change that view so I'm looking at it from the side that's clipped. So under the top left drop down, set view, and change it to right. Change it to looking from the other direction. And then I'm going to basically just in that same viewport, select everything I want to make a drawing of and type in make 2D. That's the best way to make drawings from 3D models in Rhino. A couple options. One of them is hit maintain source layers. That'll create a separate layer in your drawing for each of the layers in your 3D model, which just helps with line weighting. The other thing is check this box, clipping plane intersections. I'll click OK. And then in the top view, so anytime you do a make 2D, it'll show up in top view near the 0, point of your file. I'm just going to drag that to the side here so it's out of the way. And then in my layers panel, because we chose that option, maintain source layers, I have a bunch of new layers. I also have a separate sublayer called clipping plane intersections. And so if I change the display color of those layers, it should change just the parts of the model that were cut through by my clipping plane. So that makes it easy. That's like your section cut to poche and line weight. The other thing I'll point out is print settings. So the diamond represents the print color, and then this column represents print width. And that's how you want to set it up for later when you print this drawing to a PDF or when you print it out. And the reason for that is we can have a certain set of colors that are like our display colors for modeling and a separate set for when we print. Now, in order to see what my print settings look like in my viewport, I'm going to turn on an option in this viewport, click the top left and go to Print Preview. And so that should show me now if I start to apply line weight. So I'm going to select these two layers, holding Shift, click where it says, click where it says Print Width, change it to 0.6. Then in my viewport, you can see those lines are thicker. So that's only showing up because I have Print Preview turned on. It's previewing my line weights. And then I'm going to do the same for my, my other layers, so I'll change that to black. And you always want to set some line weight to any line that you want to show up because the default is very thin. All right, and then the last thing we want to do is draw some lines at the angle that the sun is in our view. So I'm going to go in here. That was kind of the day. I'm going to change it to like a time where my azimuth is closer to 180, so it's kind of in line with my section cut. So I'm just fine-tuning that angle there. There we go. So 47.2 is my altitude. So what I want to do is draw a line in my viewport at 47.2 degrees. So first I'm just going to type in line. To draw a line, I'll draw a straight line holding shift. Then I'm going to select that line and type in rotate, snap to the end of it, and type in that angle, 47.2, and press enter. Now I think actually the angle should be going down to right, so I'm just going to hit Control Z to undo. Rotate one more time, snap to the end. And this time I'll just hit minus first, so minus 47.2, press enter. There we go. So now what I want to do is take this line and copy it. Type in copy, press enter, and I'll snap to the start of the line, and then I'll position everywhere I have an object that's casting a shadow. I'll just delete the original one. So, and then what I want to do is trim these lines, so I'll select the objects I want to trim with, type in trim, click on the loose ends that I don't want, press enter. Then I'll select this line and type in extend, and hit that line so that it extends all the way to the object that it should be touching. And then finally, I also want to copy this section that represents like my ground, these outlines I should say. So I'll just use the copy command there, click on the line, type in extend, click on the shadow line, and press enter. Okay, so now I have my shadow outline set up. And then the last step is I want to hatch this drawing so that I know I want to show the poche and I want to show the shadows. So I'm going to create a new layer, call it hatch, oops, and set that to my current layer. And the best way to do this is type in hatch and make sure you have your boundary option set to yes. So if that says no, just click it so it's set to yes. And then select your outlines, press enter. From there, you can just kind of like paint bucket in all the areas you want pocheted. And press enter, click OK. And yeah, there's the poche set to black, so it's just copying the print settings of that layer. I'll do another one for shadows. So type in shadows, make a new layer, set that to current. And then same operation, select all my lines, type in hatch, and then click in the areas I want shadow. Okay, and then you can see it's dark, so it's actually hiding, it's hiding some of the outlines of my actual objects. I want to lighten up those shadows. I also missed a little piece up here. Just add that real quick. So I'm going to select my shadows, or actually no, sorry, I also missed a piece down there. Hatch, enter. So I'm going to just change the properties of my shadow layer by clicking on the display color and dragging my opacity slider to the left. And so that should make not only make my shadow hatches lighter, but it'll also show like lines that might be behind that hatch. So it won't cover anything up. All right, so that's how to create the section with the shadows. And then last step, if we want to print this, type in print and press enter. Under destination, I'm going to choose Rhino PDF because I just want to save a PDF. Page size 11 by 17. And then to set the scale, scroll down to where it says View and Output Scale. Under the drop-down menu, I can choose one of the defaults. So let's say I wanted to do 1/4 or 3/4, whatever. If I want to reposition where my drawing is on my page, I can hit this option Set. And don't snap to one of these outside edges because that'll rescale. I don't want to rescale, I just want to move my print window. So I just hit Escape, but hit Set and just click on that little center dot. then you can kind of position your drawing so it's centered on your page, and press enter. And that should reposition it without messing up your scale. Scale's still good. Then you press print, save it wherever you want to save it. And that's it.